Andrew DeLeon, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
So, tell us who you are.
My name is Andrew DeLeon. I am a singer, and most people know me from my appearance on America's Got Talent.
So, tell us about the whole experience on America's Got Talent. What made you sign for it to go there, and what was your whole experience about it?
Well, at the time, I didn't really know what it was that I wanted to do. I was intending to go to filmmaking school, actually, because I was very interested in filmmaking, but I also had this side project in my head. It was, a passion of mine that nobody knew about, which was singing. And I just so happened to see an ad for America's Got Talent being very nearby, and I really wanted to go. I haven't watched the show too much, but I was very familiar with the viral videos, the Susan Boyles and the Jackie Evanchos, the Paul Potts. And I thought, what if I could have a moment like that? Because I'm such a dreamer. Interestingly enough, they ended up using Ozzy Osbourne's song Dreamer for my introduction. So that was appropriate. But yeah, after that I went to the audition, which was a producer's audition, and I made it through. And from there, I was asked to perform in front of the three judges. It was Sharon Osbourne, Howard Stern, and Howie Mandel.
So you arrived there, and there was something quite interesting that happened that you told me, which was it was the very first time. Tell us about that. The very first time you performed in front of an audience, and on top of that, they didn't give you any rehearsals, which is part of the game. It's not a critic, but they didn't give you any rehearsal at all. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, well, funny enough, a lot of people don't believe that part of my story, which is that I had not performed in front of anyone. They thought, how can someone with a voice so big who lives at home with his family not have ever been heard? It's actually not that complicated. The truth is everybody was either at work or my siblings were involved in a lot of after-school activities. So I had the house to myself a lot, and I would just sing in the living room and keep an eye out the window to make sure as soon as the car pulled in, I would stop, shut it down, and get back to my normal routine. As for the rehearsing process, there wasn't one. It was mostly whatever I could do at home. And once they told me, here's your call time, you need to be here at this time, they kind of allowed you to be shoved into a little corner to do it, but they wanted me to be hush-hush about it because they wanted it to be a surprise, as the producers had already heard me sing, but the judges hadn't, and they didn't want to spoil it for anybody. So for me specifically, I couldn't rehearse, really, unless I believe they gave me about 2 minutes in the parking lot where nobody was, like out back where all the trucks were parked. And that's all I had. And all I did was belt out one note. But the truth was, I didn't expect for people to like it. It was kind of a rebellious mentality that I was going through. I really wanted to show people that this is what I love to do, and I was ready for laughter. I was not ready by any means for applause. So I was actually confused because, it was kind of my statement piece that it was going to be. And if everyone laughed, which is what I wanted, which is what I expected, I was going to, just and let it be that. But everybody started clapping. And if you notice, my eyes are closed in that moment. So when I open my eyes, and you can immediately see me start to shake, it's because the whole theater was on their feet, including the three judges. And I thought, what in the world is happening in this very moment? I say it right on stage, this is completely unexpected. It's not what I thought was going to happen.
Wow. This is, you believe so then after, what happened after that?
That same night, I walked right off stage. I didn't stick around to bask in any of the applause because I'm not used to that. So I just kind of said thank you and walked off and hugged my parents. And I was approached by a producer and said, is this for sure what you want to do? Because you're for sure going to Vegas if you want to. And I said, yeah, why not? I've never been. I had never even been on a plane by that point. So that night I was approached by someone outside. It was a younger gentleman who said he loved my voice and wanted my autograph. That was the first time I had a fan. And that was really shocking to me. And yeah, the whole car ride home was just my parents going, I can't believe what in the world just happened. And I said, I don't know. That's not what I thought was going to happen. And we went home and we celebrated. And in the morning, my father woke me up because I had a call time. And he looked me right in my eyes and said, feels like a dream, huh? And I thought, oh no, that did happen, didn't it? So yeah.
So then what happened after? You went to Vegas?
Yes, I had to be quiet about the whole thing. I was under contract for that because these things aren't pre-taped. At least the first few auditions are. And I went to Vegas, didn't do that great. Very clearly, they underestimated the temperature and how it would affect my voice and how early I had to get up and how late I had to stay up shooting B-roll and things like that. So it did have a great effect on me. I didn't sleep much. At that time, I blamed myself for a lot of it, but the truth is a singer needs rest, you know? And I sang. What they didn't show, actually, here's an exclusive. What they didn't show was that they let me sing. They immediately said no. So I had already known I was done. So I said, well, I'm gonna enjoy Vegas while I'm here. So I went for a walk. And then they call me and say, they wanna give you another shot because they think you can do better. So I said, of course. So I ran back to the hotel, which was a horrible idea. And they kind of shoved me in a room and said, you know, rehearse and practice and warm up your voice so that you can be as best as possible. Because I think they really, really did want me to make it even further. And it just wasn't my day. I went back in and I sang it and I gave it my all. But the clip that they showed was the first one, which is where I forgot the lyrics. The second time around, I sang it fully, but they didn't air that one. And yeah, they still sent me home. So it was sad.
And then after that whole adventure, what happened to you over the next years?
Oh man, I got to travel. I got to perform here and there. Many offers to perform at birthday parties, many offers, you know, things like that, but also at like restaurants or corporate events or private events and things like that. I didn't always say yes to every single thing because some were like really, really far and that just scared me at the time. Now, of course, I'm open to working. But got to meet a lot of cool people, made a lot of great friends. Still was getting used to the idea of having a fan base because at the time I was still 19 years old. You know, you go from being a quiet loner in your room listening to metal and, you know, blaming the world for your problems, and then all of a sudden the world wants your attention and you're like, what do I do with this? So I tried my best to be a class act, but I was still very immature and rebellious. So that's toned down a bit over the years. And but it was fun times. I regret nothing. You know, we grow from our experiences, and there's a lot of things that I can't change from the past. So like wearing really, really horrible pants on TV. So yeah.